Hey guys, what's up? It's Tara Vlogs, and today I'm going to be talking about something a little more like serious in a way, I guess, but I was really debating making this video for a long time because it's not like as a dramatic experience or like intense as others, but I'm going to be talking about my stalker, and well, let's just jump into it. So he went to my middle school, and he was in one of my classes in 8th grade. He was the really weird kid. Let's just call him Steven. So Steven was this really weird kid in class, and me and my friend, like, if he talked to us, we were like, okay, we'll just be nice to him. We only have to see him one class. So whatever, we'll never have to see him outside of school, because we knew he lived in a different town. Like, I live in a kind of small town, not like extremely small, but like, it's a pretty small town compared to the one next to us. So we were like, we knew he lived in the bigger side. He went to a different school before he went to our middle school, but we were like, okay, we'll never have to see him, it's whatever. So then I get a text one day, and it just says, hey. I don't recognize the number, so I'm like, I am sorry, who is this? He's like, oh, it's Steven. And I was like, how did he get my number? I didn't give it to him, and all that. So I was talking to one of my friends at the time. We're not friends. I think I started not liking her when she did this. But she gave my number to the kid without asking me for permission to give it to him first. Like, that's kind of like a rule. But anyway, so she gave him my number, and I was like, oh my god, and I was like ignoring him, but he kept texting me and texting me. So I was like, okay, maybe if I acknowledge this kid a little, he'll be like, back off if I'm just like doing like one word text or whatever. So he would be like, oh, want to hang out? And I got to the point where he'd asked me to hang out so much that I started making shit up. I was like, oh, I'm gonna hang out with this kid I like. I can't, like, I'm really into this kid. And I lied. But in the 8th grade year, because this went on for a while, 8th grade year, I did really like this kid, but I wasn't hanging out with him. It was just as an excuse. So, and this kid, the 8th grade dance comes along, and he's like at the dance, and I didn't talk to him once or whatever. Like, he asked my friend to dance, and my friend was like, oh, awkward, okay, fine, because I was dancing with kids I actually liked. And he texts me, like, we stopped talking for a while because I'm like really annoyed by him or whatever, and texts me freshman year, and out of nowhere, and he goes, you know, I really liked you, and it hurt when I asked you to dance at the school dance and you said no. And then it was like, for the kid I liked, like, insert kid's name. But I was like, okay, I was like, you never asked me to dance, and I didn't even talk to you that night, like, because I remember the night, I remember who asked me, and I remember all that stuff. I didn't just forget that this kid asked me. But he was like, well, I really liked you, and you were rude. He was basically saying I'm rude because I didn't like him back. And I was like, okay, that's a little weird, whatever. And then me and my friend one day, we are walking around. Our town is really small, and we see him ride his bike passed us once, and we were like, okay, it's whatever, maybe it's a friend who lives out here. But it was kind of weird because, like, the town where he lives in is like 25 minutes away by car, and then our town is like, yeah, so it's 25 minutes away from our town. And he's just like, oh, blah blah blah, he's like riding his bike. So he's just like riding his bike down, and you know, it was just so he was just riding his bike around, and we were like, okay, it's whatever. He starts circling. We see him like everywhere we go on his bike. And then we were sitting out in front of my house a different day, and he kept riding past my house because he knew that we were outside, and it was really uncomfortable. It was really weird. It was like, okay, you clearly know we're outside. There's like, you can go ride your bike in your town, or like, if you know, like, I personally would avoid people that I know so they didn't think I was weird. Like, I don't know. So it was obvious he was purposely doing it. How many times he did it around, and the fact that his town's so far away. And he started doing that basically every day. And like every time we were out in front, like he'd keep riding it by, and then like days where I was just like inside or whatever, I would just see him ride by once, and then he'd be like, oh, they're not outside. So he wouldn't come back, and then like an hour later he would do it again. And that was really creepy. That was like pushing it. One day I was outside playing with my little cousin, and I see him ride by again and again. I was like, maybe if I just say hi to this kid, he'll be like, okay, she acknowledged me, and he'll go away. I'm like, oh, hey, Steven. And he's like, he walks his bike up my, like, sidewalk, which, like, leads to my house. It's, like, the normal sidewalk and then, like, sidewalk to my house. And I was like, okay, I have family over. I don't really want to hang out with him. And he like started talking to me and all that, and I was like, oh, well, I really have to go inside. I have to go in and all that. And he like invites himself in my house, and I was like, oh my god. He ended up staying there for like an hour, and then I was like, oh, next top model's on. I have to eat dinner. I just made up a bunch of excuses, and it's like, you have to go, blah blah blah, all that shit. And he leaves, and he goes in for a hug, and I just do like an awkward like side hug thing, like, okay, don't touch me. And then he stands there staring at me, just like, what the fuck, for like a minute. And I was like, okay, bye, my door's open, just walk out of it. And I was ignoring him because I was like, okay, clearly acknowledging him is not good. I was completely ignoring him at this point. I was not responding to texts. I blocked him on Facebook because he used to comment on everything, so I blocked him on Facebook. He finds my Instagram and my Twitter, and I don't know if he found my YouTube channel because it's in my Twitter bio, so if he's seeing this, I hope doesn't try talking to me again. But he, so then he's out of my life for a long time, and my dog dies, and somehow he finds out about this through like a friend that I'm friends with, and I was like, oh, my dog died to this friend or whatever. I was upset about it. He was like, hey, do you want to hang out? I was like, oh no, I'm gonna hang out with this kid I like. And I lied again. I was actually just hanging out with one of my guy friends, one of my close, he lives like really close, so I was going to his house just to like chill and like, you know, feel good. And he was like, no, you should really come over, I want to make you feel better and all that. I was like, oh no, I'm good, my guy I like can do that just fine. I'm happy just hanging out with the guy I like and all that stuff. And he was like, no, you need to come over. And I was like, no, I really can't. Like, I can't hang out. And I was like, my parents aren't home and I have to go to this kid's house. And he's like, you can come to mine. I was like, yeah, but his parents have to be home. And he's like, my parents are home. And I was like, okay, no, you're really... I was like, okay, no, and I was like, okay, no, I can't hang out anymore. I can't talk. I got in trouble or whatever. I just made that up. And it was like, oh, okay. And like months go by without us talking, because I was like, thank God I finally got rid of this kid. I'm not gonna have to see him anymore. I'm not gonna have to talk to him anymore. Like, it's over with. Like, praise the Lord. But then all of a sudden, he contacts me again, and he's like, hi, and I ignore him, and he just keeps texting me like every 5 minutes, every day for like a week. Hi, hey, why aren't you talking to me, blah blah blah, what did I do wrong, all of that stuff. And I ignore him. And now sophomore year comes. Finally, he stops talking to me, but I have to avoid him. Like, I don't want to go to places where he might be, like in his neighborhood, because it still creeps me out. And I'm still just kind of like, okay, didn't know someone could be that creepy at such a young age. And it was just really weird, and I didn't like it, and I don't like him, and in any way, I don't like him as a friend, I don't like him as a person. He's just really creepy. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. So, bye.